today I'm making Bistec de palomilla. I googled that because I had no idea how to say it. So anyway, this is it right here. I'm making it with rice today, but you can have this in a steak sandwich. You can also take it further steps and bread it, but this is how I made it. To start off, you're gonna get some lemon juice. This is the one I used for today's recipe, but you could use whatever lemon juice you find. Some garlic powder, some complete seasoning. This is optional, you can go without it, and some plain salt. I don't have exact measurements for this, so I just let my ancestors speak to me on how much seasoning I use. The steak that I use is, I forgot the name, so I'm going to put it down below on what the name is. But you can buy sizzle steak from Walmart. I've seen them sell. It's just very thin steak. So I go ahead and I start off by opening all my bottles so they're ready for me to use. And then I will start off with just dripping some lemon juice on the bottom. This is all going to be on just, you can see how much I use there. Literally just a small amount to coat the bottom, not too much. If you use too much, it'll just be, very lemony, but it's not the worst thing in the world either. So then I sprinkle some garlic, and then I will sprinkle some complete seasoning, and then some salt, as you can see. So you're going to repeat the seasoning steps for each layer. And I just like to lay the steak down, and then I will repeat the same thing that I did on the bottom of the steak. It's going to be the lemon, the garlic powder, complete seasoning, and salt. Just take it easy with the salt. You don't want to oversalt your steak. They are thin, so a little goes a long way. You can always add more later if you feel like it's undersalted. But as long as you're evenly coating with a little bit of salt, it should be good. I never measure any of these ingredients because I'm layering them, so I really do not know what I would even start with if I was going to measure. To go ahead and fast forward over the next few steps because it's just repetitive. It's layer the steaks, add your seasoning, and then repeat until you have seasoned all your steaks. The amount of steaks you make is up to you. I usually do 1 steak per person. My kids can sometimes split 1 in half, but it also depends on the size steaks that you get. But normally I like to judge 1 steak per person. I'd like to add too that I am in no way near being a professional chef. There's probably better ways to do this, but this is the way I was taught. This is the way my mom was taught, and it's just one of those recipes that's from my childhood that I try to make the same way. Sometimes we do things differently, and that's okay. This is the way I've always done it, and it comes out good. If you make this a different way, I would love to hear on how you make it, because I love to experiment and try new things. So if you do make it differently, go ahead and let me know down below, and I would love to give it a try. So moving right along, as you can see, I now have an onion. So I like to cut up an onion like you're gonna see me do in the video, and I just try to thinly slice them. This is the only kitchen knife I have, and it is not the best. As you saw when I opened up the onion, there was some green in it. I just removed that. I heard that it could be a little bitter. I just lay all the onion that I cut right on top of the steak, and once I'm ready to cook the steak, I'll actually throw in this onion to saute it a little bit, and it goes so well with the rice and the steak once it's cooked. to start cooking. I added about half a cup of oil. Don't forget to do a few test runs on your tongs. I think it's tongs. But that sounds so wrong right now. So please forgive me. I forgot the word right now. Or maybe it's right. Anyway, do your usual clicks to make sure they are ready for cooking. I add an onion to make sure that it's ready to sizzle, and then once I see that my onion is starting to boil, I will add my steaks. I was able to add 3 to a pan. You can cook one at a time if you want. I will say that this gets very splashy. You're like in the splash zone, the oil splash zone, and it's not fun and it hurts. So just remember that it will make a mess. Maybe turning down the heat will help. I'm not sure. I normally end up turning up the heat because I'm impatient. I do like the steak to get a little brown. I feel like it just helps with the flavors more. So here I'm taking a little bit of the sauce. Once the steaks have actually cooked, I'm taking a little bit of the sauce in the pan, trying not to get any of the oil, just the juices that's coming off, and I'll add it to the sauteed onions that I go pulling out as they cook. I don't like my onions too soft, so I just pull them out when I think that they're ready. This will be to your liking, however soft you like your onions. As you can see, the steaks are finally browning up. This is when I know that they're ready. They have probably been cooked for a while, but I like to cook them to where they start getting crispy like that. Like I said, it just makes the flavor better to me. So I'll go ahead. I was making 6 steaks, so I just needed to do one more batch. I add the rest of my steaks, and then whatever onions are left, I just toss right on top of these steaks. And I'll just move everything around, make sure that the onions are getting cooked, the steak, and then whatever juices were left, I'll just pour that in too. Here I'm finishing up, so I just removed the pan from the burner because like I said, this is splash zone and it gets really bad at the end. So I just removed the heat, remove it from the heat, and then I just got some rice and added my onions to it and added my steak. Now a little life hack is you cut the steak with scissors. It is so easy, and with kids it's literally the best. Well, there you have it. That's my steak de palomilla. I had to Google that again. But thank you so much for watching. If you tried this recipe, let me know. And like I said, if you make it differently, I'd love to hear on how you make it and give it a try. Thank you guys. Till next time.